like a 223 round, and it was fashioned into like a blade. It had a knife in it, and he was like, I just pulled this off somebody that was trying to get in the ring to sign with you.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up?
Oh, what up, it's Amaj back in another video. Today we're about to be reacting to 10 creepy wrestling fans who went too far with WWE wrestlers. Oh man. And this video is by Wrestling Flashback. Oh my god, bro. These fans need to just keep their hands off wrestlers, bro. It's just weird. They're still normal human beings too. But let's get into it.
Chris Jericho has had a few infamous confrontations with fans throughout his career, but one that isn't talked about as much is when he nearly came to blows with a guy outside of a New York City concert in July 2017.
I ain't going nowhere now, you get off my block. How about that? I'm from Atlanta and I run this. Understand that. Understand that. You don't get beat in New York City tonight. Fuck is you talking about?
Chris was attending a tribute show for his
Okay, that's how you instantly know no one's gonna be on nothing. As soon as like this ordinary person start talking about gang shit, I'm from Atlanta, I'm from here, bro. You're not about to do shit, my nigga. Like that's when you know a nigga about to get instantly knocked out.
friend who passed away. Emotions were already high, so when a pushy fan got too close for comfort, it resulted in a shouting match.
I want to tell you congratulations, nigga. Hands on us. No, fuck your hands on us. You said what? You said
Is he white too? Why is he saying nigga? Pisses me off so much.
what? Fuck your shit. Hit me, I'ma sleep your bitch. Have white hair.
A week later, Y2J addressed the incident on his Talk is Jericho podcast.
I had it this week where I was at a memorial concert for a friend of mine who passed away. So the guy was asking me some questions and being kind of pushy, and I just basically I'd had enough. And I told him go away, and he got mad at me, so I started yelling at him, screaming at him. You know, I was really frustrated because I was in a bad state of mind because my friend had passed away. And the next thing you know, it's up on TMZ. Jericho yells at fan, drops F-bombs, and it's like, it's so funny.
Oh, God. You have to understand we're human, too.
Yeah, exactly, man. We're human. And you come at me at a time when my friend has passed away early in his life. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm not in a good mood. And you keep pushing.
But that's the whole thing. They don't care about that. They just want to get you in that mood that you went crazy.
Chris said that the fan overstepped his boundaries, and then the man's subsequent reaction forced things to spiral out of control. Given how Jericho was already upset about his late friend, the fan's behavior made Chris snap. Luckily, things didn't get physical, but they easily could have given the circumstances, especially with only one security guard being present while multiple fans mouthed off. Heels can potentially have dangerous.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Some of these fans are just weird, and they just like look like some of them just be like looking for their moment to just, you know, just try to shit all over a wrestler, but just knowing like you're not about to do anything to him. Like these people are fucking weird.
Run-ins with crazed fans. Since these people might dislike the wrestler for real, JBL has spoken about a man that went too far trying to contact him. The person in question harassed John in an offensive and derogatory manner. Somehow they got hold of Layfield's phone number. Then once they realized it was actually him, the individual continuously called and sent awful text messages. Thankfully, they were ultimately caught after they slipped up when failing to cover their tracks. In this case, it didn't go beyond calls and texts. But who knows what could have happened had the guy not slipped up. Bradshaw explained the situation on the Something to Wrestle podcast.
I tell you, I had a guy that stalked me for a couple, not stalked me, but you know, he would send me like stupid messages, get my phone number somehow. I told WWE about it. It was all racial stuff. You know, he sent me horrible racist stuff. He called me one time from a number that was listed, and I got his number, and they had the state troopers at his house within a couple hours, and it stopped. But that's how you got to stop it. These guys are idiots.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I can somewhat understand the frustration with like somebody trying to harass JBL, but like even then you look beyond his character, he's still a normal person. But his character was annoying as shit. But I mean, you guys, these people probably could not bend the the difference between reality and like fake. So that guy probably was just on some bullshit. I don't know how he got JBL's number, but he seems like such a dipshit. But even then, these people are still human. I don't know why these people go so far into just doing it.
Is not mentally stable that would stalk a person. and they need to be locked up and taken out of society.
Back in the territory days, some fans hated the heels so much, they wanted to get at them for real, but if they did, the consequences were quite severe, not in terms of intervention from law enforcement, but rather from the wrestlers themselves. That's because the police allowed the wrestlers to have their way with fighty fans once they were caught.
If the fans got unruly and just, if they ever hit the wrestlers or anything like that, the police reach over and snatch the fan and haul them into like a little holding area right there and bring that fan in and just throw them in there too, and you just beat the hell out of them.
Jerry Lawler also detailed.
Hey, if that rumor true, I wish that was around today, bro, my nigga. Because these fans get too touchy, grabby, and disrespectful. And down at that Secrets out, they can't get away with that shit now.
That was a time where a fan armed with a brick was waiting for the king after a show. Lawler was about to get into his car when he spotted the onlooker, who was ready to cause harm.
And I said, if you throw that brick at my car, I will run you over and kill your ass. Here comes the brick. Slammed on the gas, and my car went boom, 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 boom. I got out and all 4 tires had been cut.
Like Lawler, Edge also had his tires slashed and car damage during the height of his heel run, though luckily he was never near the vehicle when any of this occurred. This started happening in 2005 during the real-life love triangle between Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy. The Rated R superstar detailed this on the Edge and Christian Pod of Awesomeness.
When I was full bore running heel, I had my tires slashed a few times. Yeah. I had a lot of eggs and milkshakes thrown on my rental cars. But it was interesting one time. It was in our parking lot after Miami, and I came out and my car was trashed. And I was like, okay, well, who did that and who didn't see that? Yeah. So
these people must be like watching him get out of his car and shit, and some people must be backstage just watching this nigga. I mean, the hate was warranted. You stole a nigga's girlfriend, and the dude got fired for it. Like, what? I would never understand Vince McMahon for that whole decision, even though it was literally never Matt Hardy's fault anyway. But I know things between them are smooth right now, but those days were just fucking crazy, and I would never understand why they fired Matt Hardy for that.
Tires being slashed at a show in Columbia, South Carolina was one of the catalysts for Matt's firing. That's because Hardy's enemy, Joey Abs, spread a false rumor that Matt put a hit out on Edge. This found its way back to the office, who then fired Hardy. In reality, it was an angry fan that cut Edge's tires. Fresh off his release, Matt shed light on the saga during an interview with Wade Keller.
And I had no idea about it. It was somewhere in Columbia, South Carolina, wherever he stayed there. And I was going, that's great. I said, well, that makes my day. Yeah. That's exactly what I told her. Yeah. And I mean, she can tell from talking to me, even when she told him, that it was obvious that I didn't know anything about it. I had no concept. They thought that I automatically either did it, which it would have been physically impossible for me to do it on my own. Yeah. And then, or that I had somebody do it for me. Yeah. And I didn't. Yeah. And the thing that happens is that the office, I think that was the final straw. And like saying that there was going to be too much trouble and that I was going to end up being released.
Brock Lesnar is one of the last people you'd expect fans to creep on. For one, he's rarely out in public. However, speaking on Inside the Ropes, Wade Barrett recalls a time where Brock worked out at a regular gym with a few of the wrestlers. While there, an unwanted visitor constantly hovered around the beast.
All of a sudden, Brock walks into the changing room and he looks at us, he goes, this kid keeps following me around every time I get on a machine. He comes next to me every time I go on a bench. He comes and sits next to me. He's really pissing me off.
The gym goer tracked down Lesnar in the locker room. Brock had just finished his workout while the fan tiptoed behind him. He was going to do whatever it took to get a glimpse of the beast in all his glory.
Brock walks past us and goes into the kind of the bathroom, the toilet area of the changing room. He goes around the corner. So we're finishing up, and then suddenly this nervous 16-year-old looking nerdy kid pops his head round the locker room, and then suddenly he spots the toilet area, which is just round the corner from where we're at. And this kid kind of stumbles past.
The youngster finally had Lesnar alone, so the fan probably thought it'd be a good time to finally approach and greet Brock, but it was a case of wrong place, wrong time, wrong person, as the beast lashed out with rage.
Walks around the corner. Suddenly all you hear is, "Are you trying to see my fucking penis?" Followed by this terrified 16-year-old running out of there, through the door, never to be seen of again.
Man, I don't give a damn how young you are. That's just weird, bro. You should have common knowledge, or even common knowledge from your parents, to just not follow people into a restroom area. Even if you're a big fan of somebody, I would never catch myself doing that at that age. Even then, bro, I was shy as a kid, but I would just. Even if I was like outgoing, I would still never do that. That's just a weird ass thing to do. I'm glad that nigga yelled at that nigga and gave that nigga scare for his life.
Al Snow had a few brutal stalkers that invaded his private life. The first one wrote a blog about him on the internet in the late 90s. This woman had created a fictional life with Al in her mind that she documented on the web. Since the internet was still in its infancy, fans weren't sure if this blog was true or not. Snow's wife even confronted him about the site. Al couldn't believe what he saw when he looked at the blog for the first time. Snow revealed all while talking to the Hannibal TV.
You know, and she was substantiating all this because she was taking clips of information from interviews that I had done about, oh, my favorite cereal is Lucky Charms. So she was peppering in those little facts to where when people would read it, it was believable because it sounded like she knew me. I had never met that woman in my entire life. She had an entire life with me.
That's the thing about getting famous. You just never know what the fuck type of stalkers you can just attract online, bro. Nigga, oh my God, I'm crossing. If I ever get to that point as a YouTuber, oh my God, please protect me, God. Jeez, man, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, being stalked by a person. It's just uncontrollably weird.
That was completely fictionalized.
She even went as far as to contact Al's co-workers and friends from his personal life.
Had a young girl up there in Canada. This was back on MySpace, back in those days, and contacted me and would just pursue me. And contacting WWE and contacting the other wrestlers, pretending that she was other people, and then everything she could do. It was insane. I spoke to her, and she has a lot of, she had a lot of emotional issues. The poor girl.
Al discussed the type of person who commits such acts. People who are mentally sick but find comfort and pleasure in the wrestlers. They might form a one-way bond with the stars because the talent on screen often closely reflects the real-life person, so the fan gets attached and feels like they know them in some way.
For these people, emotionally, it's like they're drowning. And you're that single point of hope. You're that light at the end of the tunnel, and they will drag you under in efforts to save themselves. They don't care. And you can't stop them,
Some fans have taken it upon themselves to show up at wrestlers' front doors looking for autographs and pictures. Certain wrestlers have obliged, likely to prevent a scene or cause further incident. Randy Orton was rightly pissed when a man appeared outside his house in 2025. During a live stream on his YouTube channel, Maven Huffman spoke about the incident while stating the boundaries fans should adhere to.
There's a lot of things I can excuse. Going to where someone lives, where their family lives, because we just live in a world where you, unfortunately,
depending on what state that's in, that's grounds for getting shot. Like nigga, bro, you gotta protect your family. You gotta protect all your assets on your own property. That's some serious ass shit. Appearing at somebody's front door, that's when you're going really overboard and you're not being a fan. If you were a fan, you wouldn't take it that damn far and respect people's privacy and all of that. Like there's just no reason you should be walking up to somebody's door and just knocking on it for a picture. What the fuck?
Don't know what someone's intent, what their long-term goal is. And you just can't trust people. I hate that we live in that world.
Maven has said he appreciates the fans, but trespassing on a wrestler's property goes beyond anything reasonable.
You go to a man's front door, all bets are off. It's just, I'm sorry. Like that's, you're overstepping. Well, Maven, I'm a fan. I watch it weekly. I just wanted to it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Huffman also related a story where an armed thief once approached his home looking to steal money since they knew Maven was a pro wrestler. They ultimately didn't take anything, but Huffman reiterated how you never know. Autograph signings and conventions are a chance for the fans to get up close and personal with the wrestlers, but herein lies the risk, since this can be an opportunity for those with ill intentions to do something sinister. Luckily, security is always right there, and they may have saved Mr. Kennedy, aka Ken Anderson's life, at a TNA signing in the 2010s. They spotted and disarmed a guy that had a weapon. The individual was next in line to meet Ken, so who knows what could have happened. Anderson remembered the incident while appearing as a guest on the Kurt Angle show.
And one time, one of the security guys, Ronnie, came up to me and he was like, hey, check this out. And it was like a little bullet, like a .223 round, and it was fashioned into like a blade. It had a knife in it, and he was like, I just pulled this off somebody that was trying to get in the ring to sign with you. He said, I saw the guy with this little, I saw like something metal sticking out of his hand, and I said, hey, what's in your hand? And he said, nothing. And then he grabbed him and said, what's in your hand? And he opened it up, and he was like, what were you going to do with this? And he's like, I was going to have him sign it.
A penultimate example
Oh hell no! I'm glad they caught that nigga. I'm glad they caught that nigga, bro. That's just weird, bro. Man, you just never know what these people are doing. These are complete strangers. They may be your fans, but these are complete strangers. You don't ever know what type of timing they on. You don't ever know what's going on in their head. Like that girl stalking Al Snow. Oh man, bro, you never know what he could have did. That could have been the end of Mr. Kennedy's life right there. Oh my God. I really hope the future does not bring more like stockish type of people to these wrestlers. You just need to respect their privacy. Like these are real human beings, and despite them playing a character on TV. But hey, if you guys enjoyed this video by Wrestling Flashback, and I'll be doing some more WWE videos, like and subscribe. We on the road to 250. See you guys in the next video.